What's up guys, this is Dark Magician here and welcome to another KOF video. So some of you guys asked me before many questions about runes, so that's why I decided to make a detailed video about everything related to runes, and I'm gonna be mentioning stuff about the blood enhancement, which is an additional feature to runes. Okay, so first, what are runes? Of course you know esoteric stones. Well, actually, runes are something like esoterics in a way that they give additional stats to the fighter once you equip them. Once you equip your fighters with some runes, and they give additional features. Okay, now we have 9 types of runes. We have the Wolf's Anger, the Dragon Tiger, Earth's Heart, Killing Soul, God's Wrath, Protector Soul, Heart of Thorns, Boiling Blood, and Chaos. Okay, now you can see here that each fighter can be equipped with 6 slots of runes. Okay, each slot will be giving a certain buff to the fighter. Okay, so let's see what are they. Of course, here we can select the quality just to see the buffs that is given. I'm gonna leave it at red quality, which is the maximum quality that we can get. Okay, so slot 1 will give a certain amount of attack, slot 2 will give HP, slot 3 will give attack and defense, slot 4 will give defense and HP, slot 5 will give attack and HP, and slot 6 will give randomly 2 attributes. Okay, they can be many stuff. For example, let's see here, we have resistance, control, anti-crit, anti-control, stuff like that. Basically 2 attributes which are in percentage. Okay, and it's totally random. Okay, so let's start with each type of runes. What are the sets that can be given to the fighters, and what are the appropriate sets, and I mean which sets will be appropriate for which type of fighters. Okay, so now we're gonna start with the Wolf's Anger. Okay, now before we start with the rune sets, we need to mention that of course, because we have 6 slots for the runes, we can equip many combinations of them. Okay, now first of all, we need to know that a set of 2 runes will give a passive buff. Okay, for example, let's start with the Wolf's Anger. If we equip the fighter with 2 Wolf's Anger runes, it will give, at red of course, it will give 9% attack. This is a passive buff, which means that it'll be there all the time with the fighter. However, sets of 4 runes or 6 runes will be activated inside the battle. Okay, I'm sure you've seen many times in arena or any other battles, you see the burst, you know, this button that is called burst. You can activate this effect for fighters once you have 4 runes equipped or 6 of the same type. Okay, so now with the Wolf's Anger, as I said before, a set of 2 runes will give 9% attack, a set of 4 runes will give increase 26% attack, 13% resistance rate. It can decrease the target 21 resistance rate for 2 rounds. Okay, now this is activated on odd rounds only, meaning to say that it will be activated at round 1, 3, 5, etc. Okay, where you can see the burst effect, it will be you know, the fighter's picture will flash on the screen and the burst will be activated. Okay, so Wolf's Anger will be activated on odd rounds. Now a set of 6 Wolf's Anger runes will give an additional feature, which is, okay, so first it increases 9% extra attack, and the explosive skill effect is that all of the attacks will have the killer effect, which means for all fighters with 65-80% HP or more, it will deal 39% additional damage. So this is like the lethal effect or Mature's effect. Okay, now going through the Dragon Tiger, it's basically the same for as Wolf's Anger, but somehow opposite. Okay, it means that a set of 2 Dragon Tiger will give 9% attack. A set of 4 Dragon Tiger will give the same buffs, 26% attack, 13% resistance rate, and decreasing 21% resistance rate for the opponents. But this is activated on even rounds instead of odd rounds, so meaning to say it will be activated at round 2, 4, 6, etc. Okay, And of course the set of 6 runes will have this buff. All effects will deal the slash effect, which means for fighters with 35% HP or low or below, it will deal additional 39% damage, which is the vice effect. Okay, so you can see that Wolf's Anger and Dragon Tiger are somehow similar to each other in one way. Now the question is, for what fighters do they fit? Okay, now Wolf's Anger will be perfect for any fighter that can make an ultimate on round 1, like having a Wild Bear component. Okay, let's say for example Kula, for example. It can work on Kula, it can work on melee, basically anybody on that can make an ultimate on round 1, because you will deal extra damage for sure, because at round 1 everybody will have maximum HP, so that meaning to say more than 65% HP, so you will deal that extra additional damage for that opponent. Okay, for the Dragon Tiger, it will be best to put it on fighters that will make an ultimate on round 2, okay, or at least not on round 1, because if you equip, for example, Wolf's Anger to Terry, for example, he won't make an ultimate on round 1, so you won't benefit from this buff given. Okay, so that's why Wolf's Anger being more specifically to Wild Bear teams or Wild Bear fighters basically, and Dragon Tiger for any fighter that you want to make to make him do more damage but who does not ultimate at round 1. Okay, now let's move to the Earth's Heart. So Earth's Heart is a defensive rune set. Let's see why. A set of 2 Earth Heart rune can give 10% resistance rate, very nice. A set of 4 Earth's Heart runes will give 26% resistance rate, 13% attack, and when attacked, decrease the attacker 21% attack for 2 rounds. Of course, it is activated on odd rounds. Now, a set of 6 runes will give the following buff. It will increase 10% resistance rate, and in this battle, if the Explode is released, it will decrease all enemies 20% attack and resistance rate for 1 round after death. So this means that this fighter will, if the fighter equipped with Earth's Heart, he will decrease the attack for the opponent who attacked him. Okay, so this is like an indirect way of defense. And of course, when he dies, he will make this debuff, which is a decrease in 20% attack and resistance for the opponents. So if you ask me to which fighter this rune set fits, I would say somebody in the front row, but that will die fast. Okay, let's see why. Because basically you need this debuff to be activated as fast as possible. You need the fighter that is equipped with Earth's Heart to die earlier than the others in order to benefit from the debuff he will make. So this is ideal for if you're using, for example, a non-tank character in the front. He will most likely die first before the tank, so this would be appropriate for such fighters. Okay, now let's move for the Killing Soul and the God's Wrath. They are also both somehow similar. So a set of 2 runes will give 9% crit and pierce. A set of 4 runes will give 26% attack, 13% resistance rate, and will randomly deal additional damage worth 16% max HP to the target affected by the crit hit. And of course it is activated on odd rounds. So it means that if the target was hit by a critical hit, an additional 16% damage or max HP, a damage worth of 16% HP will be applied to him as well. Okay, now a set of 6 runes will give a 9% crit and pierce, and also if the attack has been blocked, the next round will get additional 20% crit or pierce. Okay, so if the opponent blocked your attack, your fighter will get additional 20% crit and pierce. Okay, now moving to the God's Wrath. Again, a set of 2 runes will give 9% crit and pierce. A set of 4 runes will also do the same. 26% attack, 13% resistance rate, and will randomly deal additional damage worth of 16% max HP to the target affected by critical hit, but this is activated on even rounds and not on odd rounds like the Killing Soul. Now, a set of 6 runes will give the following: increase in 9% critical and pierce, and if received a critical damage will instantly recover 11% HP, and next round will increase 20% crit and pierce. So it's kinda the same but in a different in the opposite way, okay? So this means that if you received a critical damage, you will recover some HP, 11% HP, and you will gain that 20% crit and pierce rate. Okay, so you can see that Killing Soul and God's Wrath are somehow similar. Now, to what fighters are these considered good? Basically, you need to give them to fighters that have a high crit rate, okay? Because once they crit, they will do more damage, okay? And this might be a way to even buff their crit even more, so they will be critting more often. Now, of course, you can mix them together, like we've seen in some fighters, like in Geniko. In my last video, I mentioned that I'm using 4 sets or 4 runes of Killing Soul and 2 runes for God's Wrath. It's because I don't want the 6 runes of the Killing Soul. Basically, I want only the effect of the 4 runes and the 2 runes. So you can do a lot of mixes, you can find whatever is possible for your fighters, but basically those 2 are most times given for fighters with high crit rate. Okay? Now let's move to the Protector Soul. The Protector Soul is also considered a defensive rune set. A set of 2 runes will add 9% crit resistance and block. A set of 4 runes will give 26% resistance rate, 13% attack, and every time block is triggered, it will decrease the attacker's 195 rage, which can be used maximum 4 times per round, and this is activated on odd rounds. So this means that once you block, you will be able, once you block, every time block is triggered, it will decrease the attacker rage. You will decrease the opponent's rage once you block, okay? So that's kind of like a defensive way. You will make the opponent lose more rage if they attack you. Now, a set of 6 runes, it will also increase 9% crit resistance and block, and blocking here will recover to self 65 rage, and the decreased rage previously that we saw previously in the 4 runes, the chances will be increased to 6, so up to 6 times it can be activated. So this means that if you block here, you will gain much more rage. So it's like an additional Tortoise Fight Soul. It's like you acquired a Tortoise Fight Soul to yourself. Okay, because once you block, you will gain more rage, and of course at the same time you will be decreasing rage for your opponent. So if you ask me to which fighters we should give this, basically you need to give it to any fighter that has a high block rate. Some tanks like Zero, Omega Rugal, Haomaru, okay, stuff like that, because the more they block, the more they will be able to benefit from this. Okay, or any other, not necessarily tanks, but any fighter like Kula, for example. She has a high block rate, so she can benefit from the Protector Soul herself as well. Okay, now an interesting set of runes is the Heart of Thorns. A set of 2 runes will give additional 13.5% damage reflect. A set of 4 will give 26% resistance rate, 13% attack, and recover 7 HP when attacked. It can be activated 4 times per round, and it is activated on odd rounds. Okay, so this means that when the opponent attacks you, you will recover instantly 7% HP. Okay, a set of 6 runes now will also increase 13.5% additional damage reflection, and when attacked, the HP recovery increased 20% and the recovery chance is increased to 6 times. So this means that you will be able to recover more HP if the opponent attacks you, and this can be activated up to 6 times. So after 6 hits, you will be able to regain HP once you get attacked. Okay, so this is a very unique rune set. It is basically appropriate for the very tanky characters, okay, something like Magaki, for example, because once they hit you, you will be able to regain much more rage, sometimes more HP than being hit, so you'll be able to gain more HP than you lose when they attack you. So it's very interesting, and it should work fine for the tanky characters you have, of course the ones that are in the front, basically. Now, Boiling Blood is basically everything related to HP drain, because a set of 2 runes will increase 13.5% HP drain. A set of 4 runes will increase 26% attack, 13% resistance rate, and absorb all affected targets max 4% HP, and is activated on even rounds. So what does this mean? It means that once you hit a target, you will be able to absorb 4% of their maximum HP. So that's why sometimes you would say that it's good for fighters that will do area damage, because you will be hitting much more opponents, okay? And you will be applying this debuff, if you wanna call it, for as much opponents as you can. Okay, now a set of 6 runes will give 13.5% additional HP drain, and when HP is below 50%, you will get additional 39% HP drain. So it's all about HP drain. This rune set is perfect if you want to maximize the amount of HP you want to absorb from your opponent. Now, basically, if this one isn't ideal, isn't special for some fighters, you can basically give it to any fighter you would like to improve the HP drain ability they have. But basically, it fits well for area damage dealers, because again, they will be hitting a lot more opponents than other fighters, so they will be absorbing more HP than others. So it's better given to the area damage dealers. Okay. Now the last rune set is the Chaos. The Chaos is basically everything related to control, applying control on your opponents. Now a set of 2 runes will give 13.5% control. A set of 4 runes will give the amount is increased to 19.5%. Oh, sorry. You will increase 19.5% attack, 19.5% resistance rate, and you will have additional 11% chance to deal debuff to the target. So forget the other control we got previously. You will have additional 11% chance to deal a random debuff on the enemy, meaning to say stun, paralysis, freeze, and silence. Okay, this is additional to the original debuff that your fighter might do. Okay, and this is of course activated on odd rounds. Now a rune or a set of 6 runes, it will give additional 13.5% control, and the probability of causing that random debuff will be increased from 11% to 16%. So this rune set is perfect for area damage dealers. Why? Because you will be applying CC to your opponent, okay? Why doing it on one opponent while you can do it on 6 opponents or 5 or 4, you know, whatever fighter you chose. But basically it fits well for fighters doing area damage, because you want to apply as much control as you can. This rune set is ideal for area damage dealers like Kula, like Mukai, okay? Because they already do some debuffs, and they will gain much more ability to do other debuffs as well. They will gain more control and the other debuffs they can. Okay, so basically it's for area damage dealers and the ones that you don't rely on damage a lot. Okay, because like fighters like Mai, for example, okay, you can give her the Chaos, but maybe you need Mai to do more damage, so you would prefer to give her a damaging rune set instead. Okay, so those are the basic 9 rune sets. Of course, you can do some mixes, like doing a set of 4 runes in one and then adding other set of 2 runes in order to get the passive effect. Okay, anything you like. Now I'm gonna just go through my fighters and just to give a quick look on what runes I've given to my fighters. Okay, so Shermie is in the front. I've given her the Earth's Heart because she's basically not a tank. She's most likely the first one to die, so I can give, or I can make, or I can give the debuff, this one. Decrease all enemies 8% attack and resistance rate for 1 round after death. So once she dies, she will give that debuff to the enemy. Okay, so this one is a defensive rune set and is appropriate for Shermie because she's most likely to die fast. I'm gonna leave Mai till the last one, okay, because Mai is a bit different. For Geniko, I already mentioned the rune set previously in my previous video, I've given her 4 sets of 4 runes of Killing Soul, because I want her to do once she crits she will do more damage. And right now it's an exception, I've given her 2 Boiling Blood runes, which will increase her HP drain, basically because I have red runes. Those are the only 2 red runes I have right now, so the effect is really high. Okay, 13.5% HP drain is very high and very nice to be given to Genico. But ideally I would give her 4 runes of Killing Soul and 2 runes of God's Wrath, because I want to maximize her crit as much as possible. But again, it's only temporary because I still don't have the best rune sets for her. Okay, so that's maybe it's not a bad idea to do that. Okay, if you have high quality runes, you can use them on any fighters you want to buff the most until you get the appropriate set for each fighter. It's totally fine. Now for melee, I've given her the Wolf's Anger, a full set of Wolf's Anger, because again she has a Wild Bear component in her fight soul, so she can make an ultimate on round 1, and therefore she can deal more damage to fighters with more than 65% HP. As you can see here, because it's still at purple, she can deal 23% additional damage to fighters with 65% HP or more. So that's good for melee as well. For Kula, as I said before, she's an area damage dealer, and I need her to do control as much as she can, so I've given her the Chaos. Of course, Kula is a very special fighter. You can give her anything basically. If you want her to do damage, you can give her the Wolf's Anger, for example. You can give her Boiling Blood if you want her to drain HP as much as you can, as much as you want. And but basically Chaos is good for her because she does a lot of control, so it's good to buff her control as much as you can. Okay, and lastly Athena. Since right now I still don't have Elizabeth, which will be my tank, I've given her Heart of Thorns because I want her to be defensive as much as possible right now. It's working fine on Athena, but this set is ideal for tanks, basically the really tanky ones, because they will be regaining more HP more than they are losing HP. Okay, I still have well-trained Terry, because he doesn't make an ultimate on round 1, so I've given him God's Wrath instead of Killing Soul, and of course I want him to crit as much as possible. Again, I've given him Boiling Blood, 2 runes of Boiling Blood, because I still don't have high quality Killing Soul ones to give him. But basically 4 runes of God's Wrath and 2 runes of Killing Soul will be ideal for Terry, because you want him to crit as much as possible. Okay, so that's it for my fighters basically. Now moving to Mai can be a very versatile fighter, because I mentioned that the rule is for Wolf's Anger is that you can give it to a fighter that can make an ultimate on round 1. Now of course Mai doesn't make an ultimate on round 1, but having Wolf's Anger to her will help you weaken your enemy as much as possible. Okay, because she should ultimate at rounds 2 or 3. Okay, so this will help you weaken your opponents as much as you can, and in the early rounds when the battle starts. So of course you can give Mai many different rune sets. You can give her the Chaos if you don't want her to do damage. You can give her Boiling Blood because she will be regaining much more HP if you do so. But still Wolf's Anger is good for her because she will ultimate early in the match, okay, and she will be able to weaken your opponents very well. So that's why also Wolf's Anger is a good choice for Mai. Okay, now we're gonna move to how do we get runes. Okay, basically you go to the Tower of Time and Space. This is your source of runes. You get the currency required in order to buy the runes. Okay, so here you can see you have many stages. You just battle opponents and you get the following resources. Of course, the rune coins are the ones that you need to buy runes. We're gonna go to that tab later. And you have the rune essence, which will allow you to upgrade your runes to higher levels. And of course the breakthrough stone is like the breaking of esoterics. You know, once you have upgraded your runes to a certain level, you will need to break it, but here you need this stone in order to break the rune. Okay, so here because I'm currently stuck at this stage, so I'm just gonna raid the previous. You get 5 chances per day, of course, and as you can see, you get the following resources. Okay, so this is where you can buy your runes. You go to the store. Of course, you can buy it with diamonds, and you combine with those coins. Okay, let's buy one, for example. Oh, okay, we got a purple one, which is okay. Okay, so this is the place where you can buy your runes. Basically, it's better, you get 50 coins per day, so better save 100 and use the buy 10 option. Okay, this is the best way to get runes. The highest one you can get is orange runes for the free ones, and if you pay diamonds you can get up to red runes. Okay, now I'd like to touch on one more thing, which is the blood enhance. Okay, so what is the blood enhance? As you can see here, once we switch the tabs, this page will you can see this page. Now blood enhance is another way to buff your runes. At level 95, when you go to the campaigns, and once you raid your campaigns, you will get other gems. Okay, let's see, for example, we have pressed raid times 10, and here you can see that, okay, we got those special gems which are called the blood mark gem chests. Okay, let's go open them, for example. Okay, so here you get many blood mark gems. Okay, different types. Those will be used to work on your blood enhancement. So here you can increase the attributes even more. Okay, the attack, the HP, the defense, etc. Okay, you will use the appropriate gems for each slot. Okay, of course you have 6 slots, and each one will require certain gems to upgrade it. And one more thing you need to know is that you have this transmutation button that will give you additional effects. Okay, like for example, for Shermie, I have her at blue currently, but I haven't made any transmutation with her. So right now, if I did a transmutation, she will gain 20 priority and the rune level will increase 5 levels. Okay, so the rune levels she has right now, they will have additional 5 levels increased. Okay, and of course much more attributes will be given once you get to higher levels. Okay, for example, at Geniko, she has reached orange level. Okay, so you have a lot of stuff to do. Now the stone required for transmutation is called the bloodstone. You can purchase it in Mystic Store, but there's no need for it because it will randomly appear in many chests, like tournament chests and club chests. Okay, so there's no need to buy it with diamonds. Here you can see the different attributes given. Okay, once you upgrade it more, you will gain priority, you will gain additional rune levels. Rune attributes, for example, it will increase 8%. So the attributes given, the buffs given by the runes, they will be furthermore powered by the blood enhancement. Okay, so you can see you can work on it for quite a while, and that's it for the blood enhancement and for the runes. I hope you guys learned something from it, and if you have any question, make sure to put it in the comments below. And by the way, don't worry about runes much because it's an easy feature, but because it's something new and we still don't have it in global, so maybe that's why some players are worried about it. But don't worry, it's more complicated than it seems. It's just you will just be able to use it very efficiently, and it's not that hard. Okay, so with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace out.